Thanks for joining, everyone. I'm Heidi Hattendorf. I lead our product marketing at Aris Global.
And I'm Sabas, Head of Customer Marketing at Aris Global.
Well, we're really excited you could join us. We took some time to survey the industry in life sciences and to really get a feel for where is the industry at in terms of automation, technology, adoption, and where is it going into the future.
We had the opportunity to survey subject matter experts across both emerging, mid-sized, and enterprise life sciences organizations, both across our own customer base and outside of it.
Yeah, and we've produced now this industry report. It's really a summary about looking at that trajectory. Where are organizations today? Where are they heading? And really breaking it down. So why don't we get started and look at some of the data and just some of the highlights that came from it.
Yeah, and before we jump into those highlights, let's take a moment to really define automation. So we believe that the automation technology really falls into three distinct categories that span this spectrum of work activities. The first one you'll see is deterministic automation. This involves automation of repetitive tasks with things like rule-based or robotic process automation, and often optical character recognition, or OCR, is in this category. These tasks typically involve automating work that deals with structured data like forms. Um, a second category right in the middle is what we're calling predictive automation. This is more advanced than the first category and involves the automation of work that sometimes involves human judgment or knowledge. And here's where you'll see technology like NLP or natural language processing. The third category is really the most advanced form of automation. We often refer to it as cognitive automation. In this category, systems can be self-learning and can even fully replace human decision-making. One key hallmark of this type of automation is being able to automate the processing of unstructured data. So we're going from structured data in deterministic automation to really being able to process unstructured data in cognitive. Now, with these definitions in place, Heidi, what is the current state of automation in life sciences R&D?
Yeah, let's take a look. And it's really important, like you said, to look at the different types because people hear the word automation, it means something a little bit different. But the survey results really back that up in terms of, look at 83% of those who responded use some form today, and that's in a way that's not surprising. But what is interesting is wanting to move up that curve and get more into cognitive automation. And so look at this, the maturity on cognitive, which is really as you get into that, doing something with it, the NLP starting to work with that is only 5%. So a lot of upside in terms of going from kind of your basic structured into more cognitive and smart. Surprisingly, though, some still don't even see a benefit, and that's okay. It just means that we need to prove it out a little bit more in terms of realizing that benefit. So that's how I take that 26%. There's some barriers too that we'll talk about, but it's just good to kind of see where people are at and what the take is on it.
Yeah, found that one very interesting. It's almost as if these organizations maybe haven't reached some form of critical mass where automation is beneficial, or there's some other things holding them back.
Exactly. And we did ask on some blockers too. And so, I think we'll see some of that it's not always about wanting to or being ready to automate. Sometimes you've got to really tie together some legacy systems or look at where data is flowing before you can move on to that next stage. So I think that's a big factor here as well. And then looking at where are things going. So I think that's always interesting too. You get a baseline and then, well, what do we want to do next with it? So very encouraging to see that 60% of organizations want to increase their investment in automation and as well as in AI. So I think even just pausing on that for a second is super interesting, just to see that take up.
Yeah, it seems like we're early in some advanced form of automation, but the majority of respondents are ready to increase their investment and do more here.
Right. It's very encouraging in that sense. And really only 15% are content with what they have. So there's this healthy sense of wanting to do more. And then 25% are just looking to start the journey. And that kind of lines up with the idea that maybe not everybody was even ready. They say that if you automate a process that's not optimal, you're just doing a poor process faster, right? And so there is a sense of workflow. A lot of companies take the opportunity to optimize. It's not just about doing it faster, but it's also about quality of data, being able to connect it into the right systems, do something with that data. So, I think that's a really interesting part as well, is, where organizations want to go with this.
Yeah, and that leads us, I think, to the next section, which is really what I found the most interesting, which is what are the perceived benefits of automation, and why are organizations not, fully embracing that full cognitive automation? As you can see here, 72%, not surprisingly, reported efficiency as the number one benefit. And this makes a lot of sense as being a core promise of automation, so being more efficient, but make sure it's the right process, as you mentioned. But I thought what was really interesting is that half of people who responded to the survey listed quality and compliance as a top benefit. Really looking to try to reduce human error, improve that data quality, and help ensure patient safety. But it's interesting on the data quality side. Why do you think this is important for organizations kind of moving forward?
Yeah, I think you hit the nail on the head. That's one of the key benefits that comes in the survey. Showed that it's not just about doing things faster and being able to handle the volume, but the quality that comes with automation, that you can count on that. It's connected in systems, and not surprising that given all the regulation in this industry and all the compliance, that having that quality data is absolutely vital. So it's good to see that coming out in the results.
Yeah, no, completely agree. And I think as we're seeing, being able to find signals within the data and be able to act on that, ensuring that you have a clean data set to be able to find those signals in the noise seem to be key. Interestingly, on the reasons why organizations aren't fully automating, I think I wasn't too surprised to see that 47% had potential issues with integrating with existing technologies. I can see organizations and enterprises with a diverse technology stack having trouble connecting those applications together and making sense of it. But I was surprised to see that 35%, really the second reason why organizations aren't moving forward with organization fully, or automation rather, is the difficulty to quantify benefits and use cases. I found that interesting. Why do you think that might be the case?
Yeah, I had the same reaction. It's, because we work in it, it seems clear. We see the benefits, we see our customers realizing those benefits. But, there's a lot of stats floating around. And I think some organizations want to see, that it's been proven out and really understand, are the quantifiable benefits. There's also, going back to the first stat, the 47%, if it's difficult to integrate with existing technology, it's, legacy systems, really disparate systems around, it could be a higher bar too in terms of investment. So that ROI, it's going to take a little bit more in terms of being able to realize those benefits. But I think as the technology gets even easier to implement and the integrations are there, which we already offer, it's only going to show how much easier it will be, and the automation and the integrations will become even more of a natural. But yeah, I had a similar reaction to you.
Yeah. Well, great. Well, this was a lot of fun. And I think we just talked through a few of the highlights of the report, but there's a lot more.
Yeah, and you're welcome to download the report. We encourage you to do so. We've got the link here, make it available. And also, as you download it, you'll be able to see some of the specific areas then, like in clinical development, pharmacovigilance or safety, regulatory affairs, and medical affairs. Really click down into each of those areas to see, maybe compare and contrast some of the results. And then a big thank you to those of you who did take this. We really appreciate it. Also look forward to the one for next year coming up soon. So, it'll be interesting to get a comparison then between the years.
Yeah, definitely. Well, thank you so much, Heidi.
Thank you, Sebas. This has been great. Thanks everyone for joining.